Okay. Have you ever really thought about the words you use every day? I mean, really thought about them. Because it turns out our language is basically a living museum, and it is packed with some of the most bizarre, shocking, and frankly hilarious stories you've ever heard. Today, we're going to follow the secret life of just one tiny word. So, here's a question for you. What in the world could an ancient Persian king possibly have to do with you checking in for a flight? I know, it sounds like the beginning of a really weird joke, right? A king from thousands of years ago and that boring thing you do at the airport. But believe me, there is a direct, unbroken line connecting them. And it all starts on a battlefield. Our story kicks off not in some terminal, but way back in ancient Persia, with a word that meant everything, a word that held the ultimate power. Think of this like a game of telephone across centuries. It all starts with the Persian word for king, shah. As this word traveled across empires and languages, it didn't just get translated, it morphed. In Latin, it became skakas. Then the French turned it into échec, until finally it landed in English as chess, the ultimate game of kings. And here is the smoking gun. You know the most famous phrase in the whole game, checkmate? Well, that's not some random made-up word. It's a direct echo of the original Persian, shah mat, which literally means the king is crippled or the king is dead. So every single time you hear that word, you're basically hearing the ghost of an ancient Persian phrase. The whole game is built around this one royal word. But the word's journey was nowhere near finished. From the chessboard, it was about to make a huge leap right into the world of money and power. Flash forward to the 12th century. King Henry II's accountants are trying to figure out how to manage all the royal cash. And what did they come up with? They used a huge checkered cloth that they called an exchequer. Sound familiar? It was basically a giant chessboard that they used as a calculator for counting money. And this, right here, is the direct ancestor of Britain's Chancellor of the Exchequer. And this is the moment where everything changes. The idea of putting a king in check on a chessboard, cornering him, stopping his power, that idea escaped the game. It became a verb for stopping or controlling anything. Think about it, a body check in hockey, the checks and balances in a government. It's all about control, and it all comes from that move in chess. So right here, the word literally splits in two. On one hand, you have the verb to check, which means to stop something, to verify it. And on the other hand, you get the noun, a check, or a check, which was a financial document created to do that exact thing, to check fraud by making it safer to move money around. One Persian king gives us two totally different words we use every single day. Okay, before we see how check basically took over the modern world, we're going to take a quick, wild little detour, because our language is just littered with words whose secret histories are even weirder. You might want to brace yourself for this. Yep, you heard me. That's not a typo. The next time you're digging into some guacamole, just, remember that the Aztecs named the fruit avocado, which was their word for testicle, because, well, they thought it looked like one. Let's just move on. Not quite as glamorous as the ads make it seem, is it? Long before it was smoothing out wrinkles, the stuff we call Botox was first found in some badly prepared sausages, and its original name was simply sausage poison. Talk about a marketing glow-up. And for our last one, calling someone feisty might not be the compliment you think it is. The word actually comes from an Elizabethan term for a small, smelly, gassy dog. So etymologically speaking, a feisty person is, well, a flatulent one. All right. Detour is over. Let's get back to our main character, the word check, and watch how it absolutely exploded into the world we all live in today. Just look at this timeline. It's incredible. In just the last 150 years or so, this whole idea of verifying, stopping, or marking something became essential to how we live. We check things off our to-do lists, we go for a medical checkup, pilots fly past checkpoints, we check into hotels, and we check out of grocery stores. The word is absolutely everywhere. So let's bring it all home. From that single Persian word for king, we get the game of chess, the word checkmate, the exchequer, checks and balances, bank checks, checkups, checkpoints, check-ins, checkouts, and yep, even the pattern on that checked shirt you might have in your closet. It's one unbelievable, unbroken journey through history. When you get right down to it, what this really shows is that the words we use aren't just tools, they're artifacts. Every single word is an exhibit in the Museum of Human History, and each one is holding onto a story we've all completely forgotten about. We just have to know where to look. So what this proves is that history isn't just sitting in old books. It's in our own mouths, hiding in plain sight every single time we speak. And that leaves me with one final thought for you. The next time you say something, anything at all, just wonder, how many forgotten histories are hiding in your next sentence? What secret stories are you telling without even knowing it?